Alright, finally, so we're ready to talk about this game. Look at the village counts here. This is the top division, so would expect little idle time and pretty even starts here for the players. But let's talk and theorize a little bit on the teams and strategies here. So we have Tiger, top flank for Norwegian Bastards. He's playing as the Cumans. Cumans, they have the option of building a second TC in the feudal age, so you could kind of get a kickstart to the boom. And that's useful in Arena. Cumans don't usually get stone walls, by the way, but on Arena everyone does. So if the stone walls get breached, your only option is palisade walls for walls, but at least they get a little bit extra HP. Cumans also have access to the siege workshop in the feudal age already, so they could go battering rams and in feudal age, and in the castle age they get the capped ram, so that allows for some early arena aggression. Now in the pocket position we have the Goths with HAFE here. Goths, solid infantry civ, of course. If you can get to the Imperial Age, you should have no trouble spamming infantry and hubs to make life difficult for example, Teutons, the other pocket here, if they go for the cavalry option. They also have a Huskarl, which is one of the better anti-archer units in the game, which they can make from the castles and with the unique technology from barracks as well. Also, team barracks, team bonus barracks work 20% faster, and if you get unique tech in the Imperial Age, Goths barracks work 120% faster, infantry cheaper as well, and yeah, there we go. And on the other flank, for the Norwegian Bastards, we have HAFE pushing in deer for Kong apparently here. I guess Kong lost his scout and that's the reason HJ is helping out here. It's bad news for Kong, was probably out on a laning spree. I'm sorry I missed that one. Anyway, nice teammate here, very friendly move of HAFE here to bring in the deer for his teammate. So I think Kong always pushes in his deer on any map, so I'm sure he really appreciates the help here from HA when in the slow feudal start. You see Tiger going up to the feudal age already. That should be like 20 or 21 pop up for him, and he's set up economically with 7 on wood, so that suggests that he wants to go for, and pretty much on feudal as well, he wants to go for the second TC and a bit of feudal booming. Now for Druzhina team here, we have AR12 as the Burmese popular flank civ for Arena. They have access to the Iron Buy in the castle. That's their unique unit. That's basically a mounted cavalry archer, but that deals melee damage. That could be really strong. They have a bonus damage against buildings as well, which can be significant to break through the stone walls quickly and raid the economy while your opponents are presumably booming. Something, by the way, that Kong really loves to do. So AR12 could make life difficult for Kong here, but they are the same civ after all, so they may also have the same kind of thing that Kong already do 3 on stone. Definitely suggesting a castle play, AR12, only with 1 for now. Burmese, one common tactic for Arena these days is the double castle Iron Buy, so Kong could be stacking up on the stone here, going for a bit later feudal age to allow for 2 castles and quicker Iron Buy production. Now in the pocket for Druzhina we have Adolf as Teutons. So Teutons, they get melee armor, extra melee armor in Castle Age and Imperial Age, so they have arguably the strongest knights in the game for that reason, and of course their infantry is really strong as well. So their halberdiers are no joke. They might also be able to contest the Goth spam actually with that extra armor. But then there's the... And then on the other flank for Druzhina is JC Kriegel playing as the Malay. Malay, they go faster to the edge, just 66% faster up, so look at this percentage counter rate, it's just going notably quicker here for the Malay player. It's with 5 on farms. I think he's going for a straight fast castle build as well with the Malay here. Might be going for 1 more villager and then straight castle age into... Well, Malay would likely go archers. They could go around early elephants as well, or some kind of siege push. They have decent monks as well, so he could even do monk siege push on Tiger, who will presumably stay in feudal age for a bit longer here. So that's it for the players and civs. Now we'll just have to wait and see what they will be doing. Feudal age is in for HAFE. And for the other players, as we go on here, HA would be making 2 villagers and then click straight up to the castle age. He's dropping the blacksmith market. Kong, a bit later to the next stage, he's going for a little bit more pop here because he really wants to get those castles up. Probably going to be 2 castles for Kong, double castle Iron by this because he's so heavily on stone already. They're flaring the middle here, that's going to be a scouts fight for... yeah, this is HA probably flaring here. I'm on my own, I need help, but none of them really have any scouts to offer. Looks like Tiger is running in to chase P kill here, so maybe they will either get the kill or at least, yeah, save both their scouts. So there is Feudal Age for Kong. He went for the 29 pop Feudal Age here. Probably then going to queue a couple more villagers, send them to... where's the gathering point? To wood, okay. And he's already in a position to afford 1 castle, probably will be dropping 2 castles in the castle age here. Air 12 with 5 on stone for now, could be thinking about something along the same lines here, but Iron by the most, probably the most common arena play for Burmese. Also is going to reach the cast age a little bit before Kong here, but actually can't even pronounce the word, but difference is negligible. Tiger, meanwhile, is still in the feudal booming here, probably going to click up in not too long here, but it's not really... he's only with 1 on gold for now, not really stressing the clicking up. And why should he? There's no aggression coming from JSP Kill for the moment, he's going for the triple TC boom here. And yeah. Not too much army presence overall, no scouts to take the field yet either, so not a huge contest for the relics just yet. As the players are approaching the cast stage, Adolf is also dropping 1 TC on the main gold and 1 on the wood as well. So all players basically booming here. And I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to Kong. Look at the stone count. It's going to be double castles for Kong here. What could have been the play as well was to have Cumans as pocket or have them close to each other so that Cumans could provide cap ramps for the walls and the buildings and Iron by for also to kill the buildings and for the raiding potential. That is actually a really strong push, but Air12 of course expecting some kind of Burmese shenanigans here, is dropping his first castle pretty forward here near his walls, but that's not going to stop Kong from breaking in on this side though and get some raids in, so of course this castle is a great placement for Air12, he covers both his stone and gold here, but at the risk of having Iron by break in actually on this edge, but then again you could always wall behind. Knights out on the field for Adolf now, so he's the first one to take a little bit of army presence on the map here. Tiger still not clicked up, surprisingly enough, to the next age. He's with 51 now. I think he's planning then some kind of fast imp play with humans here. Maybe get to the traps, get to the castles, fast imp, keep checks maybe. But that's just theorizing. And seems also risky against a melee player who could catch up to the PLH pretty quickly. But note the village concert in Tiger obviously with a head start, and he is up to the castle age. It is indeed going to be a double castle for Kong forever here. He started Iron by production, as has AR12, but for now only with 1 castle in his base. So, but he's still heavily on stone, so I think he needs to drop another castle as well. The question is, how quickly can Kong mass his army to maybe break in on AR12 on his flank here? HAFE is on the 4 TC boom here, so he's going to catch up in the village counts here. JSP kill 3 TCs for now, not really producing any army just yet, so playing it kind of patiently and slowly here. Adolf a little bit afraid of Iron by break-ins here or even Cuban's cap down, so he's wisely buildings walling behind here to make sure that no raiding units will enter easily. Airtel with a couple of Iron by the field, revealing his units play here, but Kong is with 2 castles, so Kong should have had significantly more military than Airtel here. He is right now producing only out of 1 castle though, but yeah, it's going to have more numbers than Airtel until Airtel can drop his 2nd castle, which he will probably be doing soon. Tiger reaching the cast stage. Let's pay a little bit attention to his eco here. So 60 villagers already. That's so he's still got the villager lead, but multiple TCs from the other place reaching cast stage earlier is catching up here. So there's no middle, some Iron by going towards Tiger now. And I think Cuban stone walls, although having the same HP, they used to bug and used to take only 1 petard to break through Cuban stone walls and arena. They might have fixed this though. So I'm surprised to see Airtel going straight for the other flank here. But then again, he can't really hit Kong because Kong is with 2 castles strategically placed inside of his walls here. Yeah, here we see Kong's massive army here, 11, and Airtel pulls back. So Kong is going to help out on Tiger's side, but Airtel's already pulled back. A little bit of a sneaky move there to go for the opposite flank, but Kong, realizing Tiger's not in any danger anymore, moves forward. House is being dropped for Tiger, it needs the population space and some flair for whatever reason. So what I find interesting here now is a Tiger is, or someone is flaring that this is where Airtel's army is at right now. Here comes Tiger with some knights, so he's going to assist Kong in attacking AR-12 maybe. Meanwhile, JSPL is dropping a University Monastery here, so that's the buildings to click at. What's his eco situation like? He's probably ready to click, going to be ready to click Imp pretty soon then. So it's already 10 knights with the appropriate upgrade out of the field for Tiger here, and he's collecting armies with Kong to go for AR-12 for this one, I think. I would say it's kind of a mirrored approach of Adolf, only with 4 military. He's just booming for now. He's with 3 TCs, of course, producing consistently out of all 3 here. A little bit of villagers involved, but otherwise mostly wood and farms here, and he has only 1 little opening here, so he's not that vulnerable to attacks. HFE going to the Imperial Age though, and same with the other pocket, Adolf here. So the pockets are going to reach the Imperial Age at around 28 minutes here. But HJ with the 4 TC boom is going to imp with 10 more villagers than Adolf here, so that's going to pay off in the eco situation in the long run, and HJ is setting himself nicely up for the Goth spam here. He's been untouched. He's dropping Barracks Blacksmith in the back here now. Maybe wants to hide them away for some reason. Also bring in the relics here. Let's have a look at the relics here. 2 for Adolf, 1 for HJV, so they're both contesting relics here. Not too much army action on the field just yet though. But looks like Tiger and Kong will go straight for the pocket now. So they're going for a Teutons player, maybe realizing that Adolf doesn't really have too much army presence on the field. And yeah, we see him dropping more stable slug of these stone walls as well. Doesn't want the Reigns to get in here, but here comes AR-12 with his Iron by. AR-12 actually with more army than Kong Forever, at least on the spots here. But then there's Tiger with always knights to help out here. So they can still take a great fight. They are not allowed to break in at Adolf's side, however, or Adal. Meanwhile, allowing HJ to bring in another relic, and it's 4 relics for Adolf though, so that's a nice extra goal income for him here. He's been doing a good job bringing in the relics here. So trying to break through again, the gate is down, but Tiger and Kong are kind of outnumbered here. Kong isn't really collecting his army, he will be losing his reinforcement to AR-12's castle here as well. That's pretty huge. That's units basically dying for nothing for Kong here. Tiger is with 40 military though, so that's the power of Cuban Eco there. He's dropping a siege workshop as well. Might be considering getting capture and breakthrough at JCP Kill's side. But this is where the action is going down at the moment. They're basically buying lots of time for HFE to drop barracks and get the Gov spam ready, and haven't been paying attention to the tab here if he researched the unique text, but I think it's going to be regular infantry here, not too many Huskarls, unless Huskarls will do decently against Arambai, but I don't think they will because Arambai deal melee damage. Air 12 doing a fantastic job massing units though. He's with 2 castles himself and committing to the constant Arambai production here. Kong looks to be, well, it could be still be above the castles, but he seems to be, he has lost some numbers, so he's way behind Air 12 in numbers. If this is only Arambai, it's 15 more Arambai for Air 12, so that's pretty huge. Now they're flaring the other side. This mass of knights should have no trouble for Tiger to do this small group of crossbows from the Malay player. It's JCP with 6 ranges though, so he should be able to get this number up dangerously quick here as we have a pause. Probably some connection issues. Air 12 might be afraid of dropping here. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the stats. H8 floating so much gold. He's getting the unique tech now, he's getting anarchy, which means he can create Huskarls from barracks. So he wants to go for the Huskarls. So it makes sense, of course, because JSPKL is going heavily into the archers here. But then again, they will have support from the pocketeer Adolf with his current eco setup, nicely able to afford constant knights into Cavaliers. It's actually Cavaliers already. So Cavaliers and to be later on to be Paladins. Of course, we just note the armor here as well. This is the melee armor. That's 2+4. And we could look at the Tiger's stats. Meanwhile, that's the 2+2. That's the Imperial Age extra kicking in for Aloe Wolf as well. So he could have potentially 2+5, I think, with the Imperial Age upgrade, unless they're missing it. Yeah, last armor. So +1 in the Cast Age, +2 in the Imperial Age, so that's going to be even an extra armor. It's going to be 5 armor total melee armor for Adolf and Tiger. Although with a huge, larger army mass at the moment, he's with 53 military. That's pretty crazy at this point in the game, although he's committed to it. He's still in the Cast Age, of course. Still outnumbering Adolf to the extent that he could actually take great fights here. Looking at the eco setup, it's not that far off the Imperial Age stick either. Yeah, so we have a long pause here, tactical pause or potential for restore pause. There's the unpause there. That's Air 12, brings his air by into JSPK's base. Tiger's in with some serious Knights raids here. This is going to devastate JSPK's eco here. He's with 122 villager souls, so he's second only to HGFE and the villager counts here, but this Knights raids here, spread out here, is going to be devastating. At the very least, it's going to cause lots of idle time and probably quite a few kills here. Going to pay attention though to JSPK's numbers here. He is not replenishing them just now. That doesn't make sense when you're being raided. But there's also Tiger here is also forcing Air 12's Arambai to react here as HGFE brings in the elite Huskarl spam here. They are going to struggle against Teuton's Cavaliers though, so HGFE will have to add Halberdiers into this mix for the Huskarl spam to be really efficient here. But Tiger, once he gets to the Imperial Age as well, he will have Cavaliers and Paladins that are quicker than the Teutons even like husbandry, so they're pretty slow. So Tiger could avoid any cavalry fights if he wants to. But this is where the fight's going down in the middle here. Kong with a significant mass of army as well. And let's have a look at the stats here. They're similar stats. None of them have the Imperial Age yet. None of them have the. None of them has the elite upgrade, obviously, because that's getting Imperial Age. Almost getting lots of technologies. I'm spamming Cavalier from 5 sails here though, so he's going to help out nicely against the God Spam here with Pikeman on the field and HA not taking Halberdier just yet, but he's probably going to do so. He has the proper defense upgrade, missing the attack for now, but the main idea here is to bring army to the field. Of course, looking at the military count for teams here, I wish it was sorted by colors, but doesn't really matter. 12 with the fewest villagers overall here, and now he's with 3 TCs, probably Kong as well. But Kong with a bit more blue in the back here. Kong is going to lose Iron by numbers here though, as the Teuton's Cavalier join in on the party here, and Imperial Age will be kicking in for AR12, so he's actually going to reach the Imperial Age earlier than his other flank here, it's AR12. With 123 population here, Kong with more population, I think, than AR12, but yeah, slightly more military for Kong as well, so he will be having reinforcements going in. It's a long way to go all the way over to the other flank here though. Then again, Burmese really want Malay out of the game here, because Malay gets access to our blasters, and that's basically the best counter to Ironbine for their range and their lack of armor, ranged armor. They only get the first armor upgrade. Huskarls entering the field now. I mean, the numbers matter here as well. HJFE already closing in on 50 military here. Constant spam adding, I was going to say adding more barracks, but he actually doesn't, but he's going for sort of a team wall here with the houses as well, so they're going to probably try and secure some kind of trade route here between themselves. A castle going up for this kill here. That's going to be tough to deny, because there's too much army from Team Druzhina here to take part in this. All 3 players, all the action going on over here right now, as there are TCs and towers going in the middle. Adolf trying to drop a town center here, but I think Kong's castle is going to make it impossible to take gold there. So Kong is the one securing the neutral gold here. Dangerously close to AR12's castle though. AR12 with 3 castles, Kong with 4 castles. So Kong, if he continues to commit to the Iron by play here, it's going to be shifting Kong's favor in the terms of military here. AR12 with more military for the time being, but Kong about to reach the Imperial Age, getting Coin Edge as well, so they might be going into some slinging here as the Imperial Age kicks in. And Adolf trying to take the neutral goal as well. It's going to be contested by HJFE here, so HJ could just simply task some army over here to deal with these builders of Adolf. Let's see if HJ will split up a little bit here. Doesn't really address it. Kong doesn't either, it's just army is just passing through as Castle of HJFE goes up in the middle here though, and elephants from Malay on the field here. Not a burst move, I guess. Another castle will be denied here, so nice awareness from HJFE here to stop this castle from going up for Adolf. They don't want to lose control of this neutral gold here. HJFE will lose this castle to Trebizond army though, but I don't think he minds too much. It's more of a distraction, a delaying, a taking up army attention from Druzhina than anything else. But Kong needs to be careful with his Iron Buy here. He's on his own and he's running into our West masses here. So it's going to be tough for him. He needs some help here. Tiger has mixed in some light cap as well. Tiger is struggling for gold already. He could be struggling for gold. He does have very little gold actually. He's taking gold outside of his base though, but I guess his gold inside his base is depleted already. So that's not ideal for Tiger, but probably they will be getting trade up as well, and once they can get the trade route running. They're trading yeah, towards HJ's base for now, so some short trade routes giving maybe 40-50 gold per turn. It's mainly Huskarls for HJV, but there are Halberdiers in the mix as well, so Halberdiers will for sure help out against the elephants. Here, Tiger reaching the Imperial Age, keeping his numbers low, but he's also he's mixing some knights into the mix here. The Tiger will be desperate for trade to kick in for his army to be max efficient here. It's a bit of lag here. Looking at the military numbers, it's actually numbers-wise in favor of the Norwegian bastards, but army strength-wise, I would argue that it's stronger than Druzhina, as Tiger is still struggling a little bit for gold. He's committing to a light cab into the mix, so they have fewer gold units on the field overall here. Elephants will be tanking some army attention here as well. Let's have a look at the KDs as well. Great KD for Adolf here also, but well, not for HJD, but he's mainly just spamming army. He doesn't need to worry about losing units here in the mix. His job is just to annoy and to fight off all units like this. Let's see if they have a trade route set up here for Druzhina. They don't have any trade yet, but they're probably going to go for some kind of wall here to secure a route for themselves as well. But as long as one team has trade and the other doesn't, that is what could shift the favors. pretty laggy game here now. JSPKL is in the USA, otherwise it's EU servers, Norway mainly, and a little bit of Germany. So, but Kong Forever does have a slow PC as well. That's causing a little bit of lag as well. HFE trying to get into the mix here, but as long as there are paladins on the field, the Huskarls won't really be too efficient. Not too many paladins here though, and some light cam now for JSPKL. Are they running out of gold? JSPKL is with 51 gold, so they definitely have trade somewhere here. They're trading. Where are the markets? Anyway, let's focus on the fighting melee. So there's trade for Druzhina as well. Should be actually looking a little bit at the golds here. JSP with lots of gold here. It has 51 trade units, or 51 gold after all. So Tiger still struggling for gold. He'll be fine once the trade kicks in, but that takes a while. And still pretty short trade route for this play. 48 gold per turn, 47, 48. So it's still light cap target, but at least he's committing army to the fights. Helps out, of course. Light cap could tank arrows from Harvest here, but score-wise it's not looking great. It's of course KD playing into the equation here as well, considering that HJ is losing more army than anyone else here, but he's also in a position to replenish constantly. Let's just look at this spam here, mix of Halberdiers and mainly Huskarls here. And Huskarls, of course, as long as there aren't paladins on the field, or champions for that matter, Huskarls will do fine. But here are two Adams Warmton. Adolf is doing the champion switch right now. He's going into barracks, 9 barracks production here, I think. And he's going to effectively stop the god spam here, because both Halberdiers and Huskarls will be weak to champions. And then again, the Huskarls suddenly can't reach the Arbalest here. But as long as Olaf doesn't provide helps himself, once Tiger's trade kicks in, he can bring Paladin to the field. Cuman's Paladins, the quickest in the game, would be very efficient against Arbalest, especially when the Arbalests are more or less on their own like this. So at the moment, both JSPKL and Adolf are doing the champion switch. JSPKL with forced level with Malado, so he's going to save lots of gold here, because when he's making 2 Advanced Horsemen, it only costs food for him. Meanwhile, Conqueror, we're doing some work here. Is significant mass of iron buy here. Is not getting the elite upgrade, he's getting trade and pikeman, or yeah, I think it's pikeman, not halberdier just yet for Kong. Why does Tiger have no gold? Well, his gold was depleted and a trade is about to kick in. Trade is about to kick in for Tiger. So let's see, he's with, right, 36 now, so unless Druzhina, yeah, a little bit of raiding going on here, so 2 paladins hidden in between here, but if they have team colors on, they will still see the red. Oh, that's really hard to spot on the minimap actually. So 2 paladins in the trade raiding for Adolf here, but they are going to be addressed by the Huskarls here now, so that's fine. Champions on the field for Adolf here, and I think JSPKL is still committing mainly to... Well, it's keeping his archers numbers, and now it's providing more or less. You need that against the Burmese later on as well, if Kong would be gaining ground here. Druzhina is gaining some ground as well. Castles are going up here. It's the castle for Adolf here, and then there's going to be one here for Air 12 as well, and another one. So Druzhina are taking the middle now. And some desperate farming attempts from JSPKL here shouldn't really be paying off for him. There should be a constant army spam here. But look at Tiger is still kind of struggling for gold here. He's getting the trade text here, wants to maybe receive some sling or sling on his own. Trade line could still raid it. Look at this pathing. So trade line could still arguably be raided here. Here's the mass of iron buy, elite iron buy actually for Air 12 here, but Kong probably has elite by now. Still only iron buy for Kong. It's not prioritizing the elite upgrade here now. Kong does have the strongest infantry attack of all these players though, so he's going into some kind of infantry switch here. Might be going into champions or halves himself. And on the Norwegian Bastards team, we don't really have a good... none of them have Arbalest. Accessible Cubans, crossbowmen, Burmese, they all have crossbows, but they have are lacking some core upgrades for the archers line, so... And archers Arbalest switch is out of the question for the Norwegian Bastards here, so... With that in mind, it could be tougher for... it could be really tough for Druzhina in the long run here. It's going to come down to gold control, I guess, and looking at the gold there is being spent, of course, but... Seems to everyone seems to have gold income for now. Teutonic Knight, yeah. Okay, some serious flaring going on here, and on Tiger's Pub there has to be some raiding going on there, or some bug trade or something. Maybe wanting to delete some houses to free up trade space here. This pathing here is horrible for the trade cards, so you can see with 41 trade cards still not bringing in gold efficiently here. This skill is gaining ground now with his 2 enforcement Arbalests on the field here. Bomber cannons even brought in to deal with buildings here, so it's basically pushing almost on his own here. And there's some flaring, there we go, deleting the buildings here, so the trade route can be more straightforward and efficient here. South side, Air 12 gaining ground arguably as well. It's elite army against army after all, and some helps in the mix for Air 12 as well. So I think Kong could be losing ground there. Villains or Norwegian Bastards have extended their trade route, though now the trade route will bring in 74 gold per turret. But they don't really have this trade line secured, so if any paladins run in here, trade could be really hurt here from the other team. HJFU with the constant panel, look at this death series about to, he's almost lost 700 units there, JSP kill with 505 kills, that's amazing, he's making real progress with his Arbalests, and now light cab push here, some forced levy, 200 swordsmen as well. JSP kill looks like the MVP here, getting lots of kills and pushing efficiently here. He's still bomber cannon, one boundary bomber cannon helping out as well. And if you can break through Tiger's base and kill their trade, it's going to look very bad for the Norwegian Bastards here. However, on this side, taking out production capabilities for Kong as well. The castle will probably go down to... Yeah, there's a bomber cannons here dealing with castles as well, so Kong will have to do a switch. But Kong is still producing anything at the moment. This is struggling for resources here. Arguably struggling a little bit for gold here. But looking at the armor numbers here, is HJ providing the most army here. Tiger is down to 6 military now, so that's going to be tough for him to hold here. His gate, once if any army runs out or in here, JSP could even run in here and raid himself. So these gates could cause trouble. Now the gate's being held open. If JSP stays here, he could run in. He's fine for now. Villager counts, Tiger very heavily on the villagers here now. He might be going into sling mode here now, unless he's well, he's still his villager count. His trade cards counts as villagers, so he's lots of trade work. Very little army space done, so he might need to delete units later on. Still deleting some buildings for the trade to get better pass here. Even deleting the walls now, just to make sure the trade can get as efficient as possible. Meanwhile, fighting in the middle here. JSP bringing his Arbalests back. He's keeping his numbers alive. He's supplying more, of course, as well, but now he's more committed to the forced levy push. Look at all the blue dots here. That's the trade going on with Air 12. Pushing mainly on spawn in the south now, as Teutonic Knights are on the field for Adolf here. He's dropped his third castle at least out on the field now, so he is in a good position to add Teutonic Knights to the mix. If we disregard the fact that Teutonic Knights are pretty slow, they would be the perfect counter to the Goth spam. It's going for the barracks now, it's going to take out the capabilities, kill some of the building villagers, now maybe get into the trade as well. And that's going to be disastrous for the Norwegian Bastards here. Some pikes brought into the mix as well. It's a little struggling for gold, probably not, it's just adding for convenience here. But the KD is off the charts here for JSP kill, especially arguably for HJFE as well. It's with 615 kills now, but he's still losing. He's closing in on 900 units lost, so that's not the best outcome there value-wise. Tiger struggling for military though. He is mainly trade and regular booming here. Maybe he will be slinging his toggle Tiger's pub for a while. to drop a castle now to secure a trade line as he can. But with Tiger not providing him build to the field, it's going to be still going. Even with the Goth spam, it's going to be tough for them to deal with this. No base has been reached yet, but for Norwegian Bastards trade to be completely safe, they would need walls across the map here and a little bit of raiding going on here now. So building foundations going up as well to help, and a little bit of sling being received from HJ here. Goth spam is still at work, but there are dangerously many castles in the field. That's going to limit the Goth's potential with the infantry to move forward here. Looks like this castle might be denied Tiger for now as well. Yes. Does he have any villagers building at all now? That one goes down now. This castle will go up just yet. JSP kill on the verge of breaching through here. Same goes for Adolf is here with some presence as well. Tiger is desperately trying to drop siege workshops and stables here, but with this army potential on the field, he's not really going to be able to do so. These foundations should be cancelled and he could try and drop them elsewhere, but now Druzhina is in the trade of the Norwegian Bastards as well. Castles trying to be forced up here with this massive arm list in the trade. That's going to be lots of trade herbs going down. That's going to take forever to replace here, so now the builds will lose their trade and they don't really have any siege to deal with this. Huskarls need to come this way, so still not completely losing it here, but that's a lot of trade cards lost already for the Norwegian Bastards here. HJ passing 1,000 units lost here by now, but having Arbalest on the field is just great here for Druzhina. It's, I guess, huge mess of mix of Goth spam and Teutonic units here now. Teuton halves, look at the stats here compared to Goth's halves. Its defense is usually different here, so that certainly plays into the total here. AR-12 making great progress, mainly raiding with Halberdiers here now, but just why not? He gets extra attack is per B, so he gets 6+5 attack total on his infantry. Still has Iron Bar to do production as well, and Kong will struggle to produce enough here now. He's dropped some barracks inside of his base, so he's still holding on here. But the key factor here being Norwegian Bastards able to hold their trade here. It's been looking a lot like Druzhina's game from this point of view, considering the constant spam from JSP kill in the north and AR-12 gaining ground in the south. There's quite a few Halberdiers from Kong forever as well though, so if you can get close enough to your Iron Buy, the elite Iron Buy, that's going to be goners for AR-12. AR-12 is going full trash here now with the Halberdiers. Some serious raids going on here now though from JSP kill. They are in the Norwegian Bastards trade. That really is going to affect the gold income of the Tiger and the others, especially here. Bringing in his own light cap to hopefully deal with raids here, but it's easier said than done. The gates have been breached here now. There's been made a hole, so JSP kill is now free to enter with this forced levy unit spam and some Teuton champions here as well. Tiger is completely idle, or at least more or less idle here. He's with 78 kills, but he's idling half of them. So his eco is going to struggle a lot here. In the middle, Teutonic Knights and Champions and full infantry style from Adolf with the Teutons here. Staying close to the Goth barracks, so that really limits the Goth spam potential here. HGFE has all of his protection outside here, so if his barracks go down, he'll be forced to rebuild them, and that's never a good sign, because that will limit your production gold income. The trade has been raided so bad that the gold to sustain production is getting tougher and tougher for HGA as well. No production at all now for our Goths friend here. Wolf has ceased production as well, but I think it's simply pop capped, so that could explain it. He's adding more Teutonic Knights, really going for the Teutonic power here. And does he add some Teuton siege at all? He doesn't really do so. But Teutons with a unique tech. He's a couple of tribes, so he's going to deal with the castles protecting the trade here. And once the castle is down, they're free to run in with their infantry units again, and then more and more trade cards will go down, and it will be really bad news for the Norwegian bastards here. The population's not looking too bright either, even the Goths player here with 200. Why is it over 200 by the way? Is the Goths supposed to have extra population space in the Imperial Age? No, I'm confused. Yeah. Tiger doing his best here to hold against Fred, but here come Halberdiers from the Malay player as well, just kill. And populations will be going rapidly down for both HA and Tiger. Look at Tiger's population just dwindling, falling back in more. HAFE taking it to champion just now. They are not ready to give up just yet. Conqueror is holding on his side here, but he's not really in any position to make progress. Has weakened the castle air trial a little bit, but they're just engaging in full trash fights down here. So it's in the north that's going to decide the game, and Adolf is bringing in even more infantry here. It's just about taking out the trade at this point. If Druzhina succeeds in taking out enough of the trade cards of Norwegian bastards, Tiger at only 95 pop and losing. Tiger is going to be taken out of the game here now, and then even with Goth's spam, you won't be able to win this. Conqueror is extending his series with the largest boom as well. He's able to sustain production, I guess, the trash production like forever, but it's just not going to be enough when one player is taken out of the game like this. So, very good work by Druzhina. Slow, efficient push through to the other side to hit the trade route, and now bringing in the traps as well, maybe to take out more. I don't see any more castles to take out here, but good go. Looks like they're going for HJ space now. Some barracks here, but the traps here could handle the barracks, and Air 12 gaining ground a little bit again. Is added more barracks, so still committing to the hubs only. Let's have a look at his eco setup as well. He is with only 80 villagers now, and his pop cap that should be in that Air 12 is well, he has some trade as well. He's probably close to close to 100 military. He has 90 something. Conqueror only with 30. So the Norwegian bastards really falling behind here. Tiger has resigned and GG, and the win goes to Druzhina for this one. So GG indeed, the game goes to just past 1 hour here. Let's have a look at the stats before we move on to the next one. It's kind of a best of two. Each team picks one home map, and if you win both games, if one team wins both games, they are awarded an extra point for winning both home and away games. JSPKL arguably man of the match here. Look at his military score here, and eco score for that matter as well. He was making great decisions. He was the only civ capable of producing arbalists in this mix here, and that really paid off for Druzhina in this matchup. 1069 units killed, 599 lost. That's an amazing KD for JSPKL here, and actually the same for Adolf as well. That says something about how Druzhina handled the Goth spam here. Maybe they've done their homework and seen that this exact matchup of civs was used by the Norwegian bastards against Royal Flushers as well. Could be largest army even for Adolf here, so HDFE not actually able to use the Goth spam to its full potential here. Most food for HFE, most wood for Conqueror, otherwise society scores pretty equal. Villager highs here. Tiger going for an extended boom here, maybe for Sling, maybe for trash units. Some trade cards in the mix as well, but arguably a bit of an overboom for Tiger was a little bit incapacitated by Adolf reaching Imperial so much earlier and having Cavalier on the field. And Tiger's Knights, Teuton Cavaliers against, or even Paladins against Tiger's Knights, that's never going to allow for any good fights for Tiger. Malay uptime by far the earliest here. They do advance 66% quicker to the next age after all. So that concludes game number 1 between these teams, and let's wait around and soon move on to the next one.